Golair, and welcome to the Loaf of Bread GAA podcast, slicing into the GAA of the past, present and future. Join me, Jason Keelan, as we cut into the largest loaf of bread known to mankind.
Hello, Diegwich, bonjour, ni hao, konnichiwa, guten tag and privyet to you all wherever you're listening in. What started as a message to 10 clubs has now expanded to more than 50 clubs globally from all continents. The journey through Loaf 2 GAA Global continues this week as we move on to our next destination in the GAA world. So come with me on the GAA journey of a lifetime and meet clubs from Canada to Argentina, South Africa to Gibraltar, Bermuda to the North Pole, New Zealand to Kuwait, Knoxville to Qatar, and literally everywhere in between. So grab the passports, grab the bags, it's time to go. On Slice 41, it's something very cool. It's NYPD GAA man Mike live from the patrol car on the streets of New York. We chat all about the club's beginnings in the 70s, the rivalry with the fire department and others, pubs in the area, playing as the warm-up to the Connacht Championship, entering the league for the first time, Twitter banter with Manhattan Gales, America's so-called greatest player, as Mike says, Shane Hogan, New York GAA stories of All-Ireland battles and Marty commentating, the lost NYPD members from 9/11 remembered, broken bones in a charity game, the GAA president's link to New York, playing the Gardaí, PSNI and London Met, and how realistic is Brooklyn Nine-Nine in terms of the NYPD life? You can probably guess that one for yourself. But first, as always, let's take a trip to the Big Apple and find out all about New York City. Bon Sultas. Welcome to New York. Hopefully you'll hear all about the city in the chats with the NYGAA down the line, but today we're going to look at a specific institution of New York, the NYPD. The largest police department in the USA and one of the oldest. When you hear NYPD, do you think of police badges, white cop cars, counter-terrorism and drugs bus? Or is it more like Jake Peralta in Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
So, do you recognize any of these men?
I was hiding in the bathroom stall, so I didn't see his face, but I heard him. He was singing along to the music at the bar.
Do you remember what he was singing?
I think it was that song, I Want It That Way.
Backstreet Boys, I'm familiar.
Fun fact for fans of the show, Brooklyn Nine-Nine is actually the 78th precinct building in New York. Either way, the NYPD is the law enforcement agency in the city of New York. It was founded in 1845 and is located at One Police Plaza in Lower Manhattan. Ironically, the Irish famine also began the same year. Within a decade, about 300 of the 1100 NYPD cops were Irish. 700 were second generation, and some had even served their own time behind bars. But it isn't only the cops who don the uniform. The NYPD is made up of units like the Narcotics, Criminal Intel, Counter-Terrorism, Air Support, Bomb Squad, Transportation, and the Police Dog Section, K9, among others. The Police Commissioner governs the institution, a person appointed by the Mayor. And that is where the Irish link opens up, as the current man in charge is one Dermot Francis Shea. Shea was appointed by Mayor de Blasio in 2019, having begun his career as a patrol officer in 91, having been raised in the Irish-dominated suburbs in Queens. His mother was from Tubbercurry in County Sligo, while his father came from Cretchard in County Laois in the Midlands, having worked in the mines. One of the first major attempted immersions into the Irish heritage came when his father brought him to the Gaelic grounds in the Bronx, hoping the display of GAA would entice his son. Sadly, for the father, it didn't, but Shea would go on to excel in other sports. Amazingly, on the day Dermot joined the force, he did so alongside brother Jim and cousin Chris, with Uncle Paddy standing alongside them in the photos, truly as Irish as any occasion could be. Only 3 NYPD commissioners ever have not had any direct Irish heritage. It's probably a sadly ironic time to be writing this. The date, as I write this now, is Saturday the 11th of September 2021. The TV in front of me replays the all too familiar pictures of the world changing 20 years ago, in the very spot we're talking about right now. On that day, 23 NYPD officers were among the victims, but that number is since closer to 300, with the many losing their lives from the illnesses that came with the debris as they sacrificed their lives in the hope of saving others. Today,
The number 23 jersey is retired on the NYPD GAA team as a mark of respect to their fallen heroes. The NYPD flag is an interesting one. Green and white stripes, 5 of them, mirror the 13 of the US flag, combined with a top left corner of blue and stars. The stripes represent the 5 boroughs of the city, while the 24 stars are for the cities, towns and villages within the New York City area. Why the green stripes? Well, maybe I would like to tell you to think that it is for the Irish, but sadly no. It, in fact, goes well back beyond the NYPD to the mid-17th century, when the first protectors of the area, the New Amsterdam Watchmen, surveyed and protected using lamps made of green glass. About 34,000 officers represent the task force today, with another 17,000 or so working within the institution. NYPD GAA began back in the 1970s, and brought in even the likes of the Commissioner of the day, a Dublin-born man named John Timoney. Names on the team sheets couldn't have been more green if they tried. Tumulty to Cassidy, Cunningham to Higgins, Murphy to Maloney, Connaughton to Kelly, and beyond. It was humble times. T-shirts were fine for jerseys, and life was simpler. Within 2 decades, the club would reimagine itself as a sponsor club under the New York board. I know what you're thinking. Any chance of the Gardaí taking them on for the crack? Well, fear not. In 2002, the NYPD GAA came to Ireland to take on the Gardaí of Dublin, who were based near my old home in Westmanstown in Dublin. The Gardaí won out on the day, before the New Yorkers went and drew with Donegal Gardaí. In 2005, they came back to Ireland again for the Police GAA tournament, where they were runners-up to the Dublin Gardaí, but they did manage to beat the PSNI in the north. Most recently, the NYPD versus Fire Department of New York is the game everyone has talked about. So, let's find out about it and much more with the NYPD GAA and their man on the ground, Mike Rainey. Yeah, see, are you still in the patrol car, or are you whereabouts are you?
Yeah, we got getting back to the office there in a minute and switching out. But,
okay. Yeah, super. Have you got much of an Irish background with a second name like Rainey?
My grandmother was born in, and then my great grandfather's from Limerick. So we've
super.
Been, back and forth to Ireland many times,
Brilliant, and all good experiences in Ireland, or?
Oh yeah, great times. Just being back there with the family and everything, and then numerous times playing football with the with New York teams, and then probably 4 times now with the Cops as well. So okay. It's been always a good time.
Okay. And how did New York Police Department GAA come about?
So I believe the club was started in 1970 by a bunch of guys. What's his name? Mike Maloney was one of the founding members back in the 70s. He recently passed away. His son Noel is a retired detective. He's a past president as well of our club. They started it. They had it going on for a certain amount of years, and then I think kind of just it tailed off for a little bit. And then sometime in the 90s, Kieran Croak was big with the GAA here, and a few other guys got it going back up, and we've kind of been flying ever since. We've had a good run, and it goes in spurts of how guys are hired with us. You might get 2 or 3 footballers in one class, and then after I was hired, we went about 6 years without getting a new guy that knew how to solo football. So it was that was a tough time. But now we have, I'd say, probably a panel of 40 guys that can play. We recently played the fire department there in our big match on Saturday, and we had about 35 guys on the sideline, which was
super.
Huge.
Yeah, I might talk about that game in a little while actually, because that was one that grabbed a lot of attention over here when I put it up. So, what do you guys do for training and a playing ground? What's your setup like?
So our manager Pat Daly, he does a great job. He's committed to us. We got a lot of our guys are off Sunday, Mondays. Weekends are very tough for our club, but some guys have those days off. So we'll practice on a Monday evening. And then Friday mornings, guys get up training, and they're really committed. They get there, they do what they can, having such a busy schedule, and if you can't get the training, guys are running and doing anything they can to stay fit. So it really helps out.
Okay, and I suppose it's an interesting one to ask, but how do you fare out on the sponsorship side of things, being in the police department?
So for us, our biggest one is O'Neill's. O'Neill's does fantastic by us. We currently don't have a sponsor on the jersey. They help us out. So we like to keep it pure, just keep the police department logo on it, and go with that. And then we'll get help from a lot of the local bars and business and stuff if we're going on a trip or need a gear bag or something like that. These guys will definitely help us out with whatever we need. And the guys kind of fund themselves too. We'll do raffles and things like that. If we're going on a big trip, we'll get some fundraising going to try and ease the pain a little bit. But for the most part, we don't have a main sponsor. We just try and go what we can and make it work.
Yes, no, super. Yeah. And what about if a local pub then is sponsoring you? Are you all obliged then to go drinking there, or how does it work?
We like to sprinkle it out throughout many pubs in the neighborhood. We'll let everybody have a piece. We've got a great connection with Keen, Seamus Keen from Rockland, and the lead singer of the Narrowbacks. They're phenomenal to us.
Okay.
The Whistling Donkey, Keelan McLaughlin, they hook us up big time with bags and stuff like that. Danny Max, and most recently we've been going to over here we have the VSW posts where they it's all retired military guys. They have like their own posts and stuff. They have a room in the back. And during COVID, when we really couldn't get into any of the bars to have meetings and club functions and stuff like that, they really helped us out. And we've had probably 14. We have a meeting once a month, probably 14 meetings in a row there. They've been phenomenal to us there at the Bayshard Post. And of course, the big bar here in the neighborhood, Rory Dolan's in the Ramblin' House, they're phenomenal as well.
Oh, Dolan's good. That's a good Mullingar name. That's where I'm based. So that's a good Midlands of Ireland name. That's what I like to see. Yeah. And in terms of playing matches, then I know you had your big battle against the fire department. Is there any, before we get to that one, is there any other clubs that you would generally come up against regularly?
Yeah. So we kind of developed a relationship about I'd say 5 to 10 years ago with the Buffalo Finians, and usually we start off our season with them. Whenever New York plays in the Conic Championship, we'll usually get the game before, the game after, and we play Buffalo. It's a big day for them. I think it's a big draw. They get a lot of their guys come down. They love to watch the big match and play us, and then we'll go back to one of the bars. Usually they like the Heritage. We shoot down to them, and we'll go up and play them as well here, but it gets a little tough. And then last GAA, they let us into the league, which was historic for us. We'd never played there before. So we got into that, and then this year they invited us in full time to the league as well as the championship, and they had a junior B, which we participated in, and we also put in a second team in the novice or junior C, which we made it to the semifinal in. So that was a lot of fun for us.
Brilliant, yeah. I think the novice final was on a few days ago. I think Manhattan Gales were in the novice final, I think, against somebody. I can't remember who it was, Hibernian, I think, or somebody. So
we lost to the Manhattan Gales in the semifinal by a few points there. And there were a lot of sore heads. None of our boys made it there after our victory celebration against the fire department. So okay,
fair enough. Yeah, you haven't got the authority then just to threaten the Manhattan Gales with arrest if they don't just let you win, no.
No, we had a nice little Twitter battle with them a little bit after they beat us the first match, where we had a lot of injuries, and it was one of the parades, one of the big parades, and we had a lot of guys that couldn't get off work. They put up their tweet, "We fought the law and we won."
Yeah,
so we went back at them the next time. We went back at them, and then they came back at us. So all in good fun. It's great for everybody to get out there, and especially in a novice, we have some guys that really didn't have a lot of game experience growing up or their first time playing football. So they really took advantage of it. And I think it was great. It was great for the GAA here just to get some more guys in that never would have got time in to play.
Yeah, and it must have been an incredible experience to get into, be recognized in the New York Championship and the New York League.
Yeah, for a lot of us, we all grew up playing in, for different clubs along the way. I played for St. Raymond's underage, and then my junior with St. Barnabas, and a lot of our guys either with the Celtics or the Rangers. We got some Rockland guys, so we were all in there. And then for just the NYPD as a whole to come in and get into that, it was definitely a proud moment for the club to be able to put on that jersey more than just once or twice a year. I think we played combined about 25 games this year.
Wow.
Only one guy, Killian McNamara, made it to every match.
Wow.
But yeah, he's a beast, and he also plays senior hurling for Hoboken as well. So he had a lot of time in Gaelic Park this year. It's definitely good for us.
25 games is more than most teams will play in 2 seasons in Ireland. So
absolutely, the boys were definitely hurting along the way. I think we went through 5 goalkeepers this season. Injuries coming up, guys getting knocked around, hamstrings, broken collarbones in a charity friendly that we were asked to play in, and then guys end up missing games. So
yeah,
whatever, everybody came through and they made it work.
Do you guys ever feel like, since you mentioned getting battered in a charity game, do you guys feel like you're slightly more targeted when it comes to games, that you're just like, people are just like taking their aggression on you guys because of who you are?
No, I don't think they're looking to beat us. It's definitely, obviously they want to beat us on the field, but I don't think they're looking to come out and give us a walloping. But I think between ourselves and the fire department, we definitely get asked a lot more to play in these charity games, just because we do draw a crowd.
Yeah.
But listen, we love it. We're happy to help where we can. That's the main thing of our club is charity, and our slogan is keep the heritage alive. So anytime we can take the field and get out there and do a good thing, I think we're doing that. So
brilliant, yeah. And then the famous rivalry with the fire department, and a recent game do you want to tell us a bit about it?
Yeah, so every year we play the fire department. We used to play in Gaelic Park, but since they got the construction going on, we had to move it on up to Rockland, where they have a phenomenal field. The venue there, between the clubhouse and everything else, is just. So we go up there, and getting ready to prepare and everything in the novice league. So tensions were a little high. I think we all play for us in, and so we get up there and we leave it all on the field there. And this year we got lucky. We ended up winning 210 to 10 points.
Nice.
We had, like I said, we had a lot of injuries out there. We brought some young guys on. We were very fortunate. We got some really good senior players that are playing with us now. Or guys that have played senior, between Mike Sheridan, Liam Dean, Kevin Tracy, and then we got what I think is the best player in America, just got into the Yonkers Police Academy, Shane Hogan. So he's just he's a phenomenal asset for us, and just a ton of other guys that are out there just never played football before, coming out and really stepping it up. Unbelievable.
Okay, brilliant. Yeah, you've really put Shane Hogan up on a pedestal now, because every club comes on and says, "Oh yeah, this guy's definitely the best in America." So yeah, you've just added him to the list.
Yeah, well, listen, I think he really is the best player in America. If anybody's seen him a couple years ago when New York played Leitrim, coming out and burying a goal about 15 seconds in.
Ah, okay. That's Shane Hogan.
There's
right.
not many. That's Shane Hogan.
Ah, okay.
So he lives up to it. And another guy, Liam Dean from the Yonkers Police Department, an absolute beast out there. Kevin Tracy, Mikey Sheridan played senior for the Rangers for a long time. He's deadly, putting the ball over from free anywhere. So we definitely have some guys that know how to play football out there.
Okay, yeah, we usually end up getting the Marty Morrissey commentary from New York Gaelic Park when it's New York against somebody, and that it was the Leitrim game, I think, was the one I'm thinking of, that was quite a nail biter at the end, wasn't it?
Yeah, listen, we really thought they were going to pull it out there.
Yeah.
Marty does it with our retired goalkeeper, Paddy Donahue. So
okay,
he does the commentary there.
Okay.
Well, one day New York will get one of those games.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the day that New York get through and then cause a bit of a stir. It's happened, London and New York over here are always known as kind of the two that we're waiting to see. And then a friend of mine was on the London team that got to the Connacht final a few years ago, so that was a big deal. Hopefully one day it could be New York, possibly.
Hey, listen, with these young guys, that it's really it's closer than a lot of people think. That these guys are really doing a good job.
Yeah. That's super. Yeah, something I was reading recently, actually, which I didn't realize, it kind of came up with the 9/11 anniversary, is that you guys have a retired jersey number in honor of those who got lost on 9/11.
Yes. So I wasn't on the police department on 9/11, but the members of the club then decided that we would retire the number 23 in honor of the 23 NYPD cops that were killed in the attacks on 9/11. And we have an upstanding rule with everyone in the club. If you're gonna, we'll present that jersey out to to dignitaries and things like that. But the rule is that it has to be framed. We never want to see anybody wearing that number 23. It's just it's just a sign of respect to them, and it's something that we actually feel very passionate about. Keep memorializing those people and keeping their honor alive and doing the right thing by them.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. Is most of the team then based or made up of Irish and Americans, or is there any others?
For the most part, right now, I'd say we're probably 100% Irish American, maybe a few strays here or there. I wouldn't be 100% sure. I'd say everybody has a little bit of Irish in them at some point. But as far as with us, it's weird. We have probably 100 club members.
Wow.
Whether they're players or non-players, and then you have the players themselves. So club members, we've got them all. We've got a little bit of everything mixed into there. But as far as players right now, I think we're at the current moment we're probably 100% Irish American or fully Irish born. But we have had a few Spanish guys and probably some Italians in the past.
Okay, that sounds amazing. Yeah, that's I wasn't expecting that. I kind of just presumed it would be all either Irish Americans or something like that. That's pretty cool to have a bit of a mix. It's something I ask every club, but you don't have to release any police secrets here, but what's a good night out like with the NYPD GAA?
Oh, listen, our boys, they like to turn it up a little bit. These guys, I've been involved in a lot of different sports between hockey, Gaelic football, baseball, everything like that. And this current group of guys, there's no crew tighter, and they have a great time, together. And when they're out together, the music's blasting and everything. It's a good time. It's definitely a good crowd.
Nice, yeah. I suppose you're kind of different in some ways to other GA clubs that I've talked to, because I always ask about what's the long-term future plan. But for you guys, it's kind of the police are not going to, fold overnight. So you're guaranteed a club in some form as time goes on.
Yeah, listen, it's always tough because, like I said before, you don't know who you're going to really, get into a police academy class or what your turnover rate's going to be. Like this current group of guys, we've probably been together now 5-6 years. So then, guys are going to start getting older. So you kind of got to try and pull in new recruits and, find that young guy that might be interested in being a cop or a fireman and, convince them to come over to our side and, make sure that they get hired and then stick with it. It's not always easy to get time off for training and playing games and stuff like that. But we try and do a really good job getting these guys off, or at least change their schedules. And right now the leadership in our police department's fantastic. They really help us because at the end of the day, we do so much charity work, and they really appreciate that. Yeah. And we are the only NYPD sports team that beat the fire department this year, so we kind of get a little bit of an extra push from them this year.
Nice, so. Yeah, that's the feather in the cap there. Yeah, I've been the only ones to beat them. That's what we like to hear. So, do you guys have much of a interaction with the GA, the HQ, and all that here in Ireland, or?
Well, right now probably not too much. I mean, everybody will watch their games. Whatever county games are on. We know Larry McCarthy well from his time here as the president of New York GAA. But as far as anything else over there, I'm sure some guys follow it more closely than others. But yeah, that's probably it. Not overly crazy.
There's a set of kind of quickfire questions I might throw at you and see. They're kind of half quickfire. You don't have to answer immediately, but every GA club in the world, I reckon at this stage, has the standard stereotypical Irish tough nut on the pitch. So who is NYPD's tough nut on the pitch?
So we got a couple guys. Like I said, Liam Dean from Yonkers PD, a Barnabas man. He's a very tough guy. And one of our newer guys this weekend from Rockland GA, Tim Furlong. we had a little bit of a scuffle out there at the end of the match there, and he won the long toss for fireman on Saturday. I'd say throwing about 10 yards. So he's one of the good guys. And then again, Killian McNamara is a little firecracker on the field as well. He'll get out there and give a good slap to somebody if they need it. So
Okay, good. Yeah, good slap. That's the first person to come on to actually just say good slap straight out. That's exactly what I like. Yeah, no messing. Does the NYPD have a club karaoke song of choice? A lot of clubs seem to have one. Depends how many drinks, I suppose, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely depends how many drinks. These guys they'll love to sing "Streets of New York." Anytime you're in Ireland or a sing song breaks out, that's always coming out. So
yeah,
that's definitely one of them.
Okay, I like that one. The toughest team that you guys have ever come up against?
Listen, just because we play them so many times, for us, it's definitely going to be one like the fire department's always a tough match, just because of the heated battles and things of that nature. But and we haven't played too many other teams so much now. We're just getting into that. But we have played, the Dublin Guards. They're a phenomenal team. We play them every 2 years in the Tom Langan Cup. So we play the Dublin Guards, the PSNI, or the London Met, and we bounce around every other year to play in each location. So we lost to the PSNI in the final here in 2019. So we're supposed to be in Dublin this year coming up, but it's pushed back now to 22. So hopefully we're playing Dublin in the final in Croke Park in 2022.
I wouldn't mind going to that. Yeah, that sounds like a good match. And hopefully the World Games are supposed to be coming back in 2023 then as well. So is it something you guys have ever been involved in?
We did. They had it as a when it was here, like as a 7.
Okay.
And we participated in that. But to go somewhere else, we'd have to do it on a case by case basis. Just because if they did it as a 7s again, it'd be tough to pick only 7 guys or to put in 10 different teams. I think it'd be tough either way.
Yeah,
it's always something we'll look for.
Okay, super. Yeah. If you could bring the NYPD to take on a county in Ireland, who would you, or the guys you think would most like a shot against?
I think and win a county match, then let's play Longford or somebody. But if we could go down, maybe I'd love to play a match in Mayo. Love to go down there. Love to play. We've played in Galway. Before I was on the club, they played in Kerry. So we're gonna try and keep making a tour. But every time we go there, we meet somebody that keeps inviting us back the next time. So it's tough. It's tough to sprinkle it around.
Yeah. Well, we'll give you the official invite to Westmeath. I know Westmeath, New York, are well backed by the Westbury. And Conor Moore and his family, I know, who are here in Mullingar as well. They back that club very well. So Cusack Park and Mullingar is always open to you guys.
Definitely, we'll try and get over.
Yeah. We'll definitely have you. What else did I want to ask you? You have a choice with the 4 main GAA things that you have to have, but you can pick one. Do you want a hat, a flag, a scarf, or a headband?
I'm a big fan of the headband. Nice. I think it's old school going back and forth.
I like that. Yeah. I presume this has to be a yes from this one, but is there a favorite Father Ted episode among the NYPD men? Surely it's a staple over there.
You know what? I'm not too familiar with it. I've watched a couple, but
the guys aren't doing their job.
I'm sure there's some of the guys.
You want to get Shane Hogan to be doing his job properly. He's letting the side down there. Okay, I'll have to ring Shane Hogan or message him and find out what he's doing. He's not doing his job properly. Do you have in your time of playing GAA or watching GAA or anything, do you have a favorite GAA player that you've ever come across?
I always liked Peter Canavan. I used to like watching him go out there, and the guy could put the ball over from anywhere. It was always very impressive.
Yeah. So were you secretly supporting Tyrone last week then?
Absolutely not. No. I also a big Stephen Cluxon fan too. Putting the ball over there from there, being banished to the goals now for like 10 years. I developed a liking to him. So
nothing wrong with banished to the goals. I spent my whole life in there, so it's fine. Yeah,
I'll take it.
Yeah, nothing wrong with it. I was going to ask, since you mentioned it as well, since you brought them up, but the better team out of the Dublin Gardaí, the PSNI, or the London Met?
The Dublin guys and the PSNI, they're battling back and forth. They're really they're neck and neck. They played in the I guess the semifinal of our tournament this year, or last in 2019, and they just go back and forth at it. There's some phenomenal footballers there, and I'd say they're neck and neck right now. They've split the last 2 championships, so it's definitely a good battle, and it's great to see them, being able to play at such a high level.
Yeah, I used to live near the the Garda headquarters place in Westminstown is where they used to play. So you guys, if you've been over here, I think you've probably been there then, have you?
Yeah, guys have been over there. I'm sure I was there. Yes, I definitely was. I remember running around there, and we're good friends with those guys. We got another Mullingar man, Robbie Harrison, with them that we're very good friends with. So
okay, I'll have to check him out. Surely know him somehow if he's from Mullingar.
He is very, very sharply dressed man. Best dress shirts you'll ever see.
Okay, nice. He's definitely getting one of the clothes shops here in Mullingar somewhere. So, one of my friends asked me to ask this. I think it's probably the most important question. On a scale of 1 to 10, how realistic is Brooklyn Nine-Nine compared to being in the NYPD?
0.
Yeah, exactly. That's the answer I expected. And I said, you're going to get the answer of 0. He said, oh, I'll still ask it. It's the best program ever.
Blue Bloods, on the other hand, phenomenal show. Okay. Realistic as could be. Not really.
Okay. Okay. You don't have a Detective Jake Peralta then, sadly, in your precinct, no?
No. I'd say the closest real thing to police shows you're ever going to watch is The Wire, about like real police working, stuff like that. That's what you want to watch. Stuff like that might happen, but a lot of that's still completely outlandish, but
it has to be done for TV, I suppose, doesn't it? Yeah.
Exactly. Keep the ratings up.
Yeah. One of the last things then to ask, because the first person I suppose I can ask this kind of question to, but what's the best part of the job being involved in the NYPD for you?
Listen, I love this job. It's phenomenal. We can do so many different things, but for me, I used to work in a warrant squad, and we were tasked with going out and finding the worst of the worst in the city. Okay. People that hurt somebody or been running away from justice, and we would go anywhere in the country to find them. I've been to Texas, to California, to Puerto Rico, to Florida, Pennsylvania, Maine, and just being able to grab those guys and then bring them back and know that they thought they were going to run from you, and you were able to find them and outsmart them and put them away. And that's a really rewarding thing for me, being able to get them.
That's awesome, yeah. Because like anyone I've kind of chatted to before, so I was like, oh yeah, it's great to be able to help out people, and help an old lady across the street. You're like, no, full on. I'm taking down these people.
Yeah, listen, those guys are thinking they're going to get away, and that they're smarter than everybody, and trying to get over on somebody or hurt somebody that that worked for what those people stole. Yeah, I'm a big fan of putting those guys where they belong.
Nice, I like that. That's going to be the tagline for the podcast. Yeah. And then one of the last things then, can people find the NYPD jersey on O'Neill's to buy? Because I'm sure it would be a popular one for collectors like myself and others.
Yeah, so O'Neill's has all our gear on their website. They do a great job with Christine there, put it out for us. So you can buy it on there, and we'll work everything out with them down the line. But they do great on there. We love the game jerseys that they've prepared, the blue ones and all that stuff. All their warm up gear and stuff with our logo on it's phenomenal. But we really like the jersey they made for us this year. It's got a blue top and the logo on it. It's really great. So
yeah,
we definitely appreciate all the help from them.
Yeah,
everybody knows the O'Neill's name, and we're happy. Yeah. We're happy to keep going with that.
Super, yes. And is there anybody in Ireland or anywhere around the world that you'd like to give a shout out to before I let you go?
Listen, we'd love to say hello to all our friends up in Buffalo, the Buffalo Finians, and all my cousins and everybody over in Ireland. It's great. And hopefully some of the boys from our team are listening to this and they don't bust my chops too bad.
You can't promise that, really, though. That's never going to happen.
No.
Yeah, for sure, yeah. So are you actually in the police car at the moment, or?
I am, yeah. I'm just waiting. Yeah, when we go into the parking lot, we kind of lose service, so I don't want to.
That's okay.
I'll wait to pull it in, and then I'll be signing out and going home.
Super, yeah. Well, I really appreciate you giving up your time, Mike. It's been amazing to chat to you. And is it possible to turn on the siren to end the podcast? No.
No, not here.
I was thinking, I was like, someone will definitely get in trouble, but I said it's worth asking anyway. Yeah. So, no, I really appreciate it. I don't know exactly when this is going to stream yet, but I will definitely keep you in touch. And it's been a pleasure and a privilege to chat to the NYPD GAA.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, not at all, and I'll keep talking to you again soon. Take care, Mike.
Absolutely. Love to do it again. Bye.
Yeah, thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Coming up the next day on the Loaf of Bread GAA Global, we cut into our next slice.
We went down to Orlando for a hurling game, and we all met at Dublin Airport, Jesus, at Atlanta, 5 a.m. in the morning to rent two 7-seaters. We drove down, and of course down about, a couple of 100 miles into the journey, there was an accident on I-75. We got stranded on the road for a couple of hours, and the lads were actually hurling out in the middle of the I-75.
Wow.
Yeah. We got down a couple of hours late. We played the game and had a great night. Yeah.
That's class. Is there any photos of that? No.
There is actually somewhere. I seen one a few months back already.
On Slice 42, I had the pleasure of chatting to local man Mark, Westmeath man Cormac, and Cavan man and chairman Ray, as we find out all about Atlanta GAA in Georgia, USA. I find out all about being fans of Atlanta United, playing days at Bumbrusna and Lavey back home before playing in the States, the 96 Olympics and Michelle Smith, Ray playing in the 1986 New York final with Larry Tompkins and Bernard Flynn being sent off, trips to Orlando, Charlotte and beyond, the competitive Southeast US Division, winning at the World Games in Waterford 2019, hurling on the I-75 in traffic with a crowd watching, and the tough choices including that between the great Keenan and Kell from Atlanta or Dahi and Mora. That's next Thursday from 9 a.m. as I continue the journey with 2 slices a week. I'll see you at the arrivals hall, but until then, check out the various clubs on the Instagram page and see all the amazing work they do and some of the nicest GA gear going. Find the podcast on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter and on TikTok. Email loafofbreadpod@gmail.com or just simply hit the follow button and spread the word of the Loaf of Bread GA pod across the globe. Slánagi.